You're listening to I Like That Story podcast number 46, The Inconsiderate In-Laws. Today's story brought to you by Evolution Consulting, nationwide image professionals for styling, speaking, and stage. If you listen to me long enough, you'll hear me say that most people are inconsiderate. And by that I don't mean rude, I mean they just don't consider. And there's no better way to explain that than with the story of the inconsiderate in-laws. Harold and Eunice had 3 children. 2 of them fled the farm as soon as they could, never to be seen again. And the third, a son named Tom, well, he stayed in the farm with his parents, lived in a smaller house in the back 40 by the creek, a place they used to call the hired man's house. Well, Tom met and married Alice, a girl who grew up in town, but who grew to love the farm life, and grew to love Harold and Eunice as well. As they both got older, it was Alice who would stop by to make coffee in the morning and listen to the farm report with Harold on the radio and watch the sunrise with Eunice. She was the one who took them to town for shopping or for doctor appointments. Harold would often tell the other farmers over coffee at the cafe that Alice was a keeper, and she was. The 3 of them grew even closer through tragedy. You see, Tom, the son, died suddenly, and the grieving parents and the grieving widow struggled with the loss. Thankfully, with the help of neighbors and with Alice's hard work, the farm kept going, something that comforted Harold and Eunice, but did not help them consider. You see, 2 years later, Harold and Eunice died within just a couple of months of each other, and then Alice's heartache really began. Harold and Eunice had no will, you see. Harold never considered it was necessary. He often said the farm belonged to Tom and Alice. Not a big farm by any means, but 380 acres still adds up to a lot of money, and now it belonged, by law, to the surviving children. The children who flew in for the funerals, surprised now to find that they could now be sudden millionaires. Alice was also surprised to find out that she was now living on a farm that did not belong to her. The children, in a magnanimous gesture, offered Alice the right of first refusal when the farm went up for auction, if she could match the highest bid, which of course she couldn't. The farm was sold as quickly as possible. The children had been making plans for the money. So Alice lost her husband, 2 people she loved as parents, her livelihood, and her house, something that Harold and Eunice would never have stood for because they were both kind and generous people and very, very inconsiderate. So, that's the show today. If you want to get a free newsletter, I send one out once a month, and I'm working on 25 Christmas stories too. I'll send those out each day from December 1st through Christmas Day, and those are also free. If you want either, well, shoot me a message on my website, ilikethatstory.net, and I'll make sure you get them. Until next time, I'm Jeff Gould. God bless.